What is up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in to this video. If you're new here, my name is Noel Jinguli and I basically review shoes. Without further ado, let's just talk about the shoes that I'll be featuring today, which are the Converse Pro Leathers in the mid variation. So just a history lesson, these are, for me personally, one of the most legendary shoes out there because they were worn by Dr. J himself and even Michael Jordan in his college years actually. If you ever seen that picture of Michael Jordan shooting his last college shot, I think I'll put it around here. He's actually wearing a pair of Pro Leathers, and that's really cool to be honest because these have been around for a long time. Not as long as the Chuck Taylors of course, but still these shoes are actually older than me. If I'm not mistaken, these actually came out in 1972 or 76. I forgot the actual year, but it is in the 70s actually. So that's it for a kind of a short history lesson about these shoes. Let's just get started with the review, starting with the design itself. This shoe has a blue chip design, which means that the tongue and laces are situated in the middle of the shoe, and you simply lace up right in the middle, obviously. And not much tech is put in the shoe, but in its time, even the leather upper is considered as somewhat of high tech, because before that, as you know, people used to wear Converse Chuck Taylors, and those are made out of canvas. In those times, leather actually provides more support compared to that canvas material of the Chuck Taylors. So technically the leather is considered kind of a tech spec, I guess. And I'm not sure when the rubber cupsole is actually implemented for the first time, but these do have those cupsoles, and compared to the Chuck Taylors, the cupsoles are kind of a more modern design actually. These actually have 3 cuts to them, meaning that they have the high cut, the mid cut, which I have here, and the low cut version. For me personally, if I want to wear them casual, I would take the low cut version of the shoe, and I'll explain more of that in the fit section of this review. So to continue with the design, I have here the black and white colorway, which is really simple. It's really easy to dress up actually. Converse stitched on the chevron style logo on the medial and the lateral side of the foot. And for me personally, it looks really clean, and I honestly really like how it looks on feet. So that's it for the design of the Pro Leathers. Let's just move on to how they actually feel on feet. Comfort wise, these aren't the most comfortable shoes out there. Even though the shoe is made out of leather, it is honestly pretty stiff. The leather doesn't actually break in that much, and you can still feel the stiffness when you walk around in these. Pair that stiff leather with the rubber cupsole, and then you'll have issues with the comfort of this shoe. They actually gave me some blisters after wearing them for a whole day at work. Even when sitting at my desk or driving in my car, I can still feel how stiff the shoe is. And for me personally, that's quite annoying. One more thing that you need to keep in mind is the sizing of the shoe, because these are very narrow. For wide footers, I wouldn't really recommend these. If you do want to try these, go a full size up. Even in my normal size, they still fit really long lengthwise, and the width is, like I said, really narrow. So that's one more of the causes of the blisters that I've experienced. Again, the size issues paired with the stiffness of the shoe, it gets really annoying and it gets really uncomfortable after wearing it at the end of the day. One more thing about the fit is, even though I tried to adjust the laces for my feet, I still feel some pressure, or most of the pressure, near the base of my pinky toe. So if you're ever interested in wearing these shoes, I'd recommend either go full size up or even trying these on in stores when possible. For wide footers, personally I don't recommend these shoes for you because they would feel really uncomfortable. So that was my experience wearing these casually. Again, these aren't the most comfortable shoes out there, and the fit isn't quite right. One more thing that I forgot to mention about the fit is, again, I do feel that these are a bit tight, but near the heel or my ankle area, it does feel a bit roomy, and the tongue does move around even when I tie the laces really tightly. So again, you need to keep that in mind. These do feel, or these do fit really weird. Again, that's one more thing that you need to keep in mind, that these feel really weird on feet, especially when you're aware that you are wearing them. Apart from that, maybe one more downside is this shoe actually feels really clunky. Again, it goes back to the stiffness of the whole shoe itself. Even with that capsule design of the outsole, it's a really hard rubber, and with that you feel every step that you take, and you can hear the click clack of the shoe. So yeah, that's it for my casual review. During my time testing these casually, I got really curious on how these would actually play, and I actually tried them, and to my surprise they feel really great. In a previous video I mentioned that it doesn't matter what shoe you have on, as long as you enjoy playing in those are the best shoe for you. And these aren't far off when it comes to that logic, because even without the modern technology it has, even when it feels really clunky, and even when the fit is quite weird, I actually didn't notice them on feet when I'm playing in these. And that's what amazes me the most. Wearing these casually, I'm aware that I'm wearing them, I'm aware how clunky they are, I'm aware how stiff they are, but when I run around, do my hard cuts, do my moves, I don't notice them at all, and I just don't feel anything on feet, honestly. And that's the magic of having fun in a pair of shoes actually. So how do they actually perform? Well, fun factor aside, I did experience some discomfort after taking these shoes off. They don't have any ventilation because of the full leather upper, which means that your feet will get hot and sweaty in these, so just be ready for that. The second thing is that because of the lack of cushion that these have, your feet will experience some discomfort, especially in your knees and in your ankles. Support wise, even with the lack of a modern outrigger, the shoe supports my feet really nicely, and even when I move around doing my hard cuts, I still feel like the shoe can withstand all my movements. However, one advice that I would give you guys is that be careful when wearing these types of shoes, because they are really narrow. Even with that flat base, you would never know if you do land awkwardly if these would actually support that landing. So keep that in mind and try to be safe when playing in these. The traction is also one of the highlights, because I didn't feel any type of slippage at all. The traction pattern is kind of unique to me because they implemented somewhat of a basket or a parquet floor design, but when you look closely it is some type of herringbone. So it goes to show even people from yesteryear know that the herringbone type of design is the way to go when providing a good type of traction. Durability wise, I'd say that these would be really durable. Again, that leather upper is really thick and it's really stiff. You don't need to worry about it ripping at all. The rubber capsule is really thick itself, and again it's really stiff. You don't need to worry about the pattern rubbing off like you have to worry on most modern shoes these days. So that's it for my casual and my performance review on these. If you are curious like me and you want to try these out, again, be very careful when playing in these. So before I end the video, I'd just like to summarize. Casually, these shoes aren't really that comfortable. They are really stiff and you can feel the clunkiness of it even when sitting down. For me personally, performance wise, these are one of the most fun shoes I've played in. Even my favorite shoes to play in this year before the lockdowns. And you need to keep in mind again, the support is not the best. So yeah, that's it for the review guys. Thank you all for tuning in. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you love the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions regarding this shoe or any other shoes that I have reviewed on my channel, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. If you have any shoes to recommend me review, again, that's what the comment section is for. So see you all in the next one. Bye.